Gotta finish setting up a few more things. I don't know what was going on with Metabang a second ago. It literally, it wouldn't fit to the window properly. Hi, Blue. The sleepy Blue. Welcome to the stream. How are you? I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but you know what? I'm gonna pretend I did because that sounded cute. Ah, there she is. Okay, she's working. Thank God. I'm gonna... Yeah. No? Huh. Yeah, that's fine. What if I... Oh! Okay, I can't do that because that throws her away. We don't want to throw her away. Sick but doing okay? Oh, I'm sad to hear you're sick. I hope you feel better. I think I have everything. I sent out links. I have the music on. I think everything is ready. Oh no. Okay, this is going to be an issue the whole time. My stream is now doing the thing, or not my stream. My Google is doing the thing it usually does at 7 at night. I don't know why it's doing it now, where it will just open random tabs. It like a pop-up ad, but worse somehow. Also, I do also have lunch still, but you know, it's okay. Hello, I'm not here. Welcome to the stream. What? Hello? Okay. What happened? Oh, right, I deleted it. I started doing a thing where I make dump folders at the very bottom of my canvases. Like of little doodles that I think are funny but don't fit on the piece, so I just put them in the dump folder at the very bottom. Okay. So we are going to draw Vinland first as a kind of warm-up, mainly because I already have her design. The only thing is I don't have her colors. Like, I have her colors, but I'm not really sold on these, and quite frankly, I didn't get the hair color right with the markers. Hello, Shu! Welcome to the stream! Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I'm gonna kabobble together my refs while we wait for a couple more people to maybe show up. How is everybody doing in the house tonight? I know Blue said they're sick, and I'm sorry that you're sick, Blue. But how's everybody else? How we doing? I don't know about y'all, but I'm officially on winter break. And I came home, I threw my stuff in my room, I had to go to work. I came home, ate dinner, and crashed. I crashed so hard. I was so exhausted. Chill, I got one more week before winter break. Ah, good luck. Good luck with the final week. You know, I know some schools in my area, like the, I don't remember which, but some schools in my area, they don't let out until the 23rd. Like, thinking on it now, it's probably because we missed an entire week of school because of Hurricane Ian, and then we missed a couple days of school because of Hurricane Nicole. So that's probably why they don't get out till the 23rd, because they ran out of hurricane days. But still, it sucks. Been good working on some FNAF stuff. Oh, whoa. Finally able to get proper rest. Hey, that's awesome that you got some rest. What's this FNAF stuff you're talking about, though? I do love me some FNAF at Freddy. I think this is the only Vinland doodle that I haven't posted because I literally did this yesterday of what we're going to do for the full body. It'll be a good warm up because there's not going to be much to draw. Most of the focus is going to be on her hair and face. And B helped me with this, and it was such a good idea. B, after I explained some about Vinland to them, they gave me the idea of having Vinland's body obscured by a cloak. Like, you can't see them at all. Because, and like, especially the feet. You can't see their feet, you can't see where they're standing, like their roots. And I thought that was such a good idea. So the hair and the cloak kind of work together to make a really shapeless form. And I can't wait to depict that in like an actual drawing. Decided to put Vladimir into security breach. He's one of the main mechanics for the animatronics and specifically handles Monty. Scouted for the position, and they later realized he was the only one who could deal with Monty's. Ooh, I like it. And hello, Midnight, and hi, B. Yes, it was you who helped me. Thank you so much. Okay. I haven't really figured out how tall I want Vinland to be. If we take the doodle I have now and put her on the line, she is a little below 160 centimeters, and I don't know what that translates to in American. I'm gonna look that up. Yeah, I'm gonna look that up, and because of stream lag, somebody's gonna be like, "Oh, 160 centimeters is exactly this height," and I'm already gonna have looked it up, and it's just gonna be awkward. But you know what? It's fine. I just need to learn centimeter. "62 inches tells me nothing. I can't convert." No, I can do that. I'm not stupid. Hold on. Please. So 5 foot something. 5'2", 5'3". No, that puts her too close to my height. I'm not having her be the same height as me. I feel like I should make her short. Like really short. For those who may not know too much about Vinland, allow me to pop off because I love this. I love talking about stuff like this. Vinland is a really tiny, not really well known Viking Age settlement on the eastern shore of Canada. It dates back to about 1100 AD. Wait. Yeah, 1100 AD, 1100 BCE, whatever you want to call it. It was only an official settlement for about, I think, 10 years, like a decade or so, before it was completely just abandoned because the Scandinavian Vikings or just the Scandinavian people, it wasn't only just the Vikings, I don't think, who settled there, they missed home. They settled Vinland during the expansion of the Viking Age, which lasted, I don't know how long, very long. How tall are you now? And when they hit Iceland, they were already kind of pushing it as far as like distance from home. Some people really didn't like it. Other people liked it because, hey, new frontier, new family, we're learning how to write in Iceland. Isn't that neat? but they kept pushing it to Greenland. Nobody really liked Greenland. They kept pushing it. And then you hit Canada. And then they were kind of like, we would like to go home, please. And they did. So Vinland wasn't really a popular settlement for a long, long time. And not much is known about it because there's not much evidence found from it. I think most of the evidence we have that Vinland existed as a settlement, period, is from some old texts by, I think it was Adam of Bremen, who wrote a lot about the Viking Age. Or Scandinavian. He just wrote a lot about Vikings. He was some hoity-toity Englishman who... Okay, think about Adam of Bremen. Adam wrote from a very biased perspective because he wrote about the Vikings about, I want to say, I don't know, a century or so after the Viking Age ended. And he wrote it from the perspective of like a mainland European whose, perception of the Vikings was probably very bad. So yeah, but yeah, I'm getting off topic. So there's evidence of Vinland existing in writing, and I think we found like I was there. They found a church buried underneath some sand by a beach. There's some other texts, other writings out there that mention Vinland. I don't remember who wrote them. I don't remember what they're called off the top of my head, but that's the gist of it. So I don't, by that metric, I don't think Vinland would be, like if we were going by canon, I don't think Vinland would exist as a character. I'm learning so much. Yeah, I was excited about this stream because regardless of what we did, if we did the Norse Gods or if we did settlements, I was excited because I love this stuff. I just like mythology, and I took a Viking history class, which I feel like I say almost every other stream, and I really loved it. It was like the one class I took that I remember a lot from. So I knew that regardless of which stream we did, I'd have a lot to talk about so that there wouldn't be weird gaps of silence. They really looked at Vinland and said, no thank you, I want to go home. It's nice and all, but no. No, you're right, Shu. I think with going back a bit, going a little more east, for Greenland, I don't think they liked Greenland very much. One, there were people already living there, so, that was an issue. They wanted that land, and they wanted the native people gone. But also, trying to port into Greenland was very difficult. The entire eastern shore, I think the entire, east to west coast, if you go south, east-southwest coast is just craggy cliff sides that are impossible to port into. So, yeah, the Vikings were good sailing, but nothing you could do against, rock. Rock is super effective against your boat, good sir. So yeah, they liked Greenland okay, but again, it took a lot of convincing to get people there because it was so far away. And, they had to, do a little bit of moida to even make it habitable because, people were already habiting it. Anyway, that's not what we're doing though. We're doing Vinland. We're not talking about Greenland. We'll talk about Greenland later. Oh, right. So, personality-wise for Vinland, I got nothing. She's kind of a blank slate. I kind of just draw her generally sad and wistful, if you will. Which, hold on. Let me sketch out a body under this so I can make sure that it's accurate. Um, the name Vinland could be translated to wine land because there is this specific species of grape that grows there. It's from North America. It's different from the grape that was introduced by Europeans. I can't remember what it's called, but it grew here. So one theory says it was called Vinland, Vineland for the grapes. Another translation of Vinland could be meadow or pasture land because of a very specific species of wheat that grew there. Again, I don't remember the name, and it's different from the European wheat. So Vinland was like a farming place. You know, the people who were there, they would either farm the grapes or the wheats. But again, evidenced by it only being settled for like 10 years, it didn't last long. So the Vinland, the Vine translation of that's where our girl, where is she? Where did you go? That's where she gets her like reddish, earthy toned hair. And the meadow pasture is supposed to be reminiscent of her really long blue cape. Because, also her long hair, because there is a story about Thor and his wife Sif, who, and also Loki. It's always Loki. Loki, as a hee hee ha ha, decided, oh, Thor really loves his wife's beautiful long hair. Sif also really loves her long hair. I'ma snip it off. And he did. He very so did. But that's getting off track. Sif's long hair is so important because it represents, what was it? Like fertile fields in meadows and pastures and stuff. Because she's a fertility goddess, just like Thor is. And that's why Vinland has the long hair, because of the meadow pasture translation. And also, I'm assuming that it was a farming settlement. So you would want fertile land. So fertile land in mythology is represented by long hair, or it's not even represented, it's associated with long hair, then I would think it would make sense for her to have long hair in my silly little head. This stream is really just going to be me gushing about my design choices and my characters, and deal with it. I am not sorry. I love talking about it. His body is a little small for the head that I've drawn, so I'm going to fix that. Anyway, yeah, if people have any notes on what I could add or change in Vinland's design, I am listening. My ears are very open. In that same myth, didn't they also end up chopping off Loki's head, or did they just sew his mouth shut? I don't remember. It was something about lopping off his head and something about sewing. I can't really remember. But it did involve Loki being hella got at one point or another. Don't most Norse myths start with Loki doing something just for the lulz? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, literally nothing would have happened in Greek. Look at me. Bobo the clown. Literally nothing would have happened in Norse mythology had Loki decided not to fuck around and find out. I'm just saying. Like, he sees a hot Jotun over in Jotunheim. He wouldn't have had the kids. We wouldn't have had Ragnarok. He didn't, for some reason or another, he decided, no, I am not going to seduce that horse for you so you can get away or whatever. If he decided not to do that, then Odin wouldn't have had his trusty 8-legged steed. A lot wouldn't have happened in Norse mythology if Loki didn't decide to fuck around. They wanted to chop off his head, but he said they could have his head but not his neck, so instead sewed his mouth shut. Oh, that's funny. That sounds right. Loki's not Loki if he didn't do things for the lulz. True. I know this isn't the Norse Gods stream, so but never mind. I'll save that for. I'm saving the Norse God idea for a different project, but if I'm doing that, I shouldn't talk about anything here. Okay, hold on. She's supposed to have like a square cloak. That's why it's buttoned all the way over here. Which this specific kind of brooch has a name. Brooch? Brooch. Has a name. I can't remember what it is though. But I don't want to look up how square cloaks fold and fall. I'm tired. I'm not tired. I got like good rest last night and I had a good breakfast. And I also was outside in the yard early this morning helping my dad weed, so I have energy for once. Who'd have thought that waking up or getting a good night's rest, eating good food, and spending time outside in the sun is good for you? I wouldn't have guessed. Loki's also the reason Thor has his hammer. That's true. The Norse gods, they commissioned the dwarves for a whole bunch of things, Thor's hammer being one of them. And for some reason or another, they... Hold on. I swallowed a pepper. An entire red pepper flake. I'm good. Yeah, for some reason or another, they didn't want to pay the dwarfs for their commission because they're assholes. I don't know. And they sent Loki to go mess with them. And when one of the giants was, or dwarves, my bad. When one of the dwarves was working on Thor's hammer, specifically the handle part of it, Loki disguised himself as a bug of some sort, or like a fly, and started messing with the dwarf. And he managed to break the dwarf's concentration for like a second. Just a little bit. And in that split second, that's what messed him up. And that's why Thor's hammer, or that's why Mjolnir's handle is like canonically small. Hold on. I'm at like the... I just had to finish my bowl. Okay, I finished my lunch. No more distractions. I think we're all just Norse mythology nerds here. Probably. We can keep talking about it if y'all want. I am more than happy to. I literally have, across my room, a book that I have recently bought. A book that I recently bought. About the Norse gods. And mythology just in general. Oh, homegirl needs a foot. She can have a single foot showing as a treat. I've done a fair amount of research on Norse mythology because I hope to one day work with the Norse gods. Ooh, that's really cool. What the... I'm blanking on what their shoes look like. Hold on, I think I drew a full body Vinland somewhere in here. There she is. That doesn't help me. It does help me! I'm just a fool. It helps me because I remember their shoes are basic as hell. And then I'll give her a little seam on the inside just as a little detail. Botan. Hey, come on. Don't quote me on my own tomfoolery. For now, I'm a chaos. I'm For now, I'm chaos and herbal witch. Once I'm comfortable, I will at some point do deity work. Ooh, that's really cool. Did you know? On the topic of witches, did you know that there's a really cool witch? Bitch. There's a really cool burial for a witch um, from the Viking Age. I think it's called the Oseberg burial. No, it's not. Yeah, the Oseberg ship burials for a rich old woman with arthritis. I can't remember. It was a wagon burial for a seer, which uh hold on. Okay, so you know how the myth of Ragnarok is called the Vushba? The Vu part it is part of the name for seer in Old Norse. I think it's Vuva, but that sounds so close to like a different thing. And I don't remember if that's right. But anyway, in this wagon burial, it was for a seer. We're just going to call her a seer. And she was so cool. She was buried with so many drugs. But based on the drugs and the herbs, and she had a staff too, which was like a I really can't talk today. A symbol of powerful seers and just people. The sick staff. I mean, uh, she was buried with all that in a wagon. She was so cool. Love to see it. The Oseberg ship burial, which is what the name I got wrong earlier was. Wow, I'm on a roll. Um, the Oseberg ship was for another woman. Of course, I only remember the burials that were for women. Anyway, um, it was some noblewoman, and I don't think anybody knows her name. Oseberg is the name of the ship that she was buried in, or maybe it was the region she was found, kind of like the Birka woman. Um, but yeah, the only thing I remember about her is that again, she was a noblewoman because she was buried with a lot of things. She was also buried with another woman, and you hear that and you think, oh, historical besties, best friends. No, actually, it was probably a servant, like some servant girl who waited on her until she was an old woman and died. I don't know. Maybe they were roommates. Who knows? Um, but that old woman was buried with very special shoes because I don't know how they know this, but these shoes were custom made for her because she had arthritis or something akin to arthritis, and the shoes helped her walk comfortably, which is supposed to show that she was really old when she died. Drug wagon, yeah, drug wagon. I kind of wanted back to Vinland. The subject of right now. I kind of wanted to give her a longer nose. I'm giving her the bushy eyebrows for Denmark, and I'm making her pretty for the Norway, and the blue eyes are for the Sweden, and I also guess the Denmark. I think. Am I the only one who thinks Norway has like pretty privilege? Like, yeah, it's an anime, and the characters objectively are relatively attractive. But I feel like you can make a really good argument for Norway being like canonically attractive in universe, you know? And I think that attractive, pretty privileged gene is very strong. Okay, it's actually really bothering me that I can't remember the name of the drug wagon burial. Hold on. You're not the only one who thinks so. He looks so pretty, right? Is it the Uppsala? No, those are burial mounds. Okay, Viking Age, wagon burial, seer. Oh, wait, it is the Oostburg burial. Wait, then what the heck was the ship? Wait a minute, okay. It's still the Oostburg. What? Where is the drug woman? Oh my god. Your PNG tuber thinks you're talking when you're typing. It's fantastic. Viking Age burials, beads, and gender. I don't care about gender. Where are the drugs? Yeah, I know about the Miracle Woman, okay? This is literally only about the Miracle Woman. Vulva in the Oostburg burial. You know, maybe Miss Vulva seer drug woman also was buried in Oostburg. Anyway, we're gonna move on. I don't care about gender. Where are the drugs? I mean, I said what I said. Me looking for painkiller. Where's the drug woman person? I said what I said. Okay. So here she is. I'm gonna actually move this picture of her over. I'm gonna move all of them over actually, so I can get reference of her hair. Okay, the head I drew in the sketch I have don't look the same age at all, so I'm gonna fiddle with that. I look like I just drew like a tiny person as opposed to a younger person. So let me fiddle with her proportions a little bit. Actually, first and foremost, let's clean this up. You know, Vinland is pretty much like done. So I guess better, why not like kind of brainstorm for Greenland, because they're next. Which I think I want to make Greenland a boy. Just because I've been on a roll with making female characters. And I do love making female characters. I love women. They're so easy to draw. It needs to be balanced out just a wee bit. Maybe not so big. It's really anime. Because, like, quite frankly, I honestly don't know much about Greenland. I know that there were people there before the Vikings showed up, but other than that, I know not much. Boy, Greenland sounds fun. Yeah. And then I don't know who we do next if we have time after Greenland. We probably will, because again, what time is it? Like 1:30? Yeah. It's barely been 30 minutes and we're nearly done with Miss uh, Vine compilation here. Does that look a little more baby? I think her jaw needs to be rounded out a lot more. I'm gonna pudge up her cheeks a wee bit. Perfect. Hmm. Wonderful. Okay, now to the hair. My favorite part. Did I put it down the middle? I did. I wanted her to have a hair curl, and originally I just kind of had the hair curl coming out like that, but I didn't like it. So I slapped it right here on this like one strand of hair, this one loose strand of hair, because I thought it would be funny. I still think it's funny. I am hilarious, actually. Um, or I might be a fool because, quite frankly, I can't really ever make sense of it. I should find reference for the specific brooch that she has because it has a name, and I used a general reference when originally sketching it out. But I don't know. It feels so bland. Like I feel like she'd have something special or unique, like a single notable thing on visible. It underneath her cloak, she has a very nice outfit. It's a very intricate design of theoretically. You're not going to see it. I'm not drawing it. But you can't see it because of her long cloak, because symbolism. We don't know much about Vinland itself, but we can only assume that it had a very rich cultural history because it came from a place with a very rich cultural history. So that's why you can't see her really nice, meaningful outfit. Um, but maybe, like, again, what we do know about Vinland is from the writings of Adam and from some artifacts and buildings that we found where the settlement would have been. So, like, we get hints of it. We get hints of a really unique area, which could be what the brooch kind of brooch, god damn, the brooch represents. That's how you draw braids. It's so fast. That's my shorthand for braids. That's not actually how I do it. This is just a sketch, so it gets the wonkest version. But where did the... But yeah, that's how I shorthand braids, and then I go in and I make it look nice. Vinland has a lot more of a meaningful design than I intended her to have, which is super funny when you realize I have no notes on a personality for her other than sad. Because I mean, like, how do you make a characterization, or like, how do you base a characterization off literally nothing? I know you could you and I know you could say just go wherever with it. We don't know much about it, so you could do anything you want. But I don't wanna. I need to find one thing about it and then immediately attach to it and turn that into a personality trait. The only reason she's sad is because she dies. Oh, I should draw her hanging out with Miss Narrator, because I like to think that all of like the dead and gone nations hang out with her in, I don't know, heaven, hell, whatever the afterlife is. I forget. Do we forget that God is canon in Hetalia? Please tell me people don't forget that. That the Christian God is canon in Hetalia. I really said a whole lot of things really fast there. Reserve, since we know so little to nothing. Reserve sounds good. Very keep to herself. What if the brute broke? God. Anyway, what if the brooch had jasper on it because in the remains of buildings from Vinland had jasper that was used as fire? Ooh, I did not know that. That's so cool. Okay, jasper brooch. I'm gonna have to do more brooch research, brooch search to figure out kind of like the dealio with it. Because one, I have to find the name of the brooch that I referenced. Um, and right, and see if putting gems and rocks like that in brooches was something that they did. Even if they didn't, it's a cute touch. I really think that's a nice idea. I don't forget that APH God is canon and haunts my dreams. Well, I have to go. Hope you'll have fun with the rest of the stream. Okay, bye, Shu. Thank you for stopping by. I like to imagine that she has a lot more braids hidden within her hair, but it's so thick you can't see them. So you only see like 3 at a time, if you're lucky. You would be so lucky. I'm gonna mess with it. Okay, I'm gonna quick search the brooch I'm looking for. Brooch. It's not called a perpendicular brooch. I don't even care anymore. It's not called a perpendicular brooch, but I'm gonna start there. Perpendicular. Because maybe Google will understand what I'm saying. It won't. Oh wait, the brooch I referenced was specifically from like 1100 AD. So like maybe 1100 AD Viking Age brooch. Ha ha ha! Huh? Okay, I found a lot. I found. I'm gonna look at the museum website real quick. I trust a museum. Oh, these are really cool. However, not what I'm looking for. That's that's a stirrup. That's a stirrup. Okay, well anyway, I see a brooch that looks very close to what I referenced originally, where it's kind of like this, and then let me click back. Yeah, it looks like that, and then there's a pin that is attached on one side that goes through. I'm assuming to poke it through fabric. So we could put jasper in here. What kind of jasper? Midnight. Do you remember? Did it say what kind of jasper, or did it just say jasper? I can't imagine it would say what kind of jasper was found. That doesn't really make sense, I guess. Because, like, jasper is just kind of red, isn't it? B. B, you're the rock guy. Is jasper just default red? Or would it make sense just to make it red? My time in the Steven Universe fandom has ruined me, and now I can't think normally. Also, I don't trust my rock knowledge from back then. I don't think it said. Yeah, no, that makes sense. It makes sense that they wouldn't say. We could just make it red. It would probably go nice with the green cloak. Which, I'm assuming it pins like that? Where you have the fabric kind of like pulled out like that? Yeah, that feels right. That feels right. Okay, that could be the start of our refined sketch. And then we have to literally go in and erase it because of the hair. Or I could just, or uh, um, I'll just do this. I'll just erase all of it and find where I can put it so that it doesn't get in the way of hair. I'm going to assume it, I'm going to put it like that. Then we take all this out. I really, really love her hair. It's so ridiculous. No right to look this way or behave in this manner, but I am kind of obsessed. I'm gonna color that red and then, ooh! Then merge it onto that layer. And now, I think what I'm gonna do, paying attention, Jasper generally is a reddish, so you'd be good if you use that. Jasper is just chert, but with hematite, so it's red because rust. That makes sense. Okay. Okay. Alright, so I think what we do now is, because the focus of the stream is to do designs and not so much final drawings. So I think the way to go would be to get her colors figured out, and then we move on to Greenland. I think I got an ask when I originally was asking, like, hey, what should I do? That said I should do Svalbard, which I'm probably saying that wrong. Hold on, wait a minute. Viking Age, Svalbard. Yeah, Svalbard. I've literally never heard of this place. I'm sure we could figure something out. But yeah. Also, I have a soda, and it feels like it's fit to bust. So I'm going to open it and pray. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Okay, that wasn't that bad. That wasn't that bad. It was bad. Okay. That's the group I was complaining to you about because Jasper Chert and Chant are the same thing, basically. Oh. Hold on. I did, in fact, get a little bit of soda everywhere. Anyway, yeah, Svalbard. I was asked to draw it, never heard of it. So I think we'll go in order of difficulty because I don't know much about Greenland, but I feel like I know enough to. I have basic enough knowledge that we can cabobble something together. And from there, I don't know, we'll figure it out. If there's time for, um, if there's time for a fourth character, we'll see when we see. In the meantime, girl needs skin. Something about her screams pale. So we're gonna go pale. Like pasty. Okay, it's cleanup day. It's clean the house day today at the house. Would you believe it? It's clean the house day at the house, and I'm cleaning. I'm in charge of the upstairs, and I clean it tomorrow. But you may occasionally hear my mother screaming and singing along to whatever she's listening to. So that's what that is. If you do hear it. What do you think about this brown? I wanted her to have brown hair that's kind of tinted red. Tinted red for the wine part of Vinland. Is it not tinted red enough? Is it too orange? I want it to be a really warm, earthy tone, but I feel like we've gone from warm to like yellow leaning. Gives pale vibe? Yeah, we're making her pale. Nice color? This feels good. I might test out some other shades of it though. With a bit of a shift in the hue. Oh, she's listening to Carrie Underwood. Okay, big question. Freckles or no freckles? I draw Denmark with freckles and Norway with a speckling, a dusting, if you will, of freckles. And Sweden, I don't normally draw with freckles. However, I am a fan of the headcanon that he has them. You can only see them when he spent too much time out in the sun, though. So I guess that's a lot of freckles to go around. Also, I draw Canada with freckles, and this is literally in Canada. So I think she needs a little bit of freckles, huh? Hold on. I also like to think that her hair has a lot of flyaways, and I have a really hard time making flyaways look good. So I'm just gonna throw those in and around wherever I think they need to go. Yes on the freckles? Freckles? I will give her a little dust. Little dusting of freckles. Okay, hair is done, and I should have done it on its own layer, but we can fix that. Okay, yeah, fix that. And I'm gonna hold on to that color I put in her hair and try a deeper, warmer, redder brown. Maybe it'll be easier to tell once we get all of our colors down, and then we can mess with it. For now, I'll leave it. I'll leave it how it is. Gonna slap some freckles on her. I think we just go across the nose bridge. Just right here. Just a little. Like a heavy there's a lot of freckles, but only it's mostly concentrated in this one area. I think that's the way to go. Something in my little brain is telling me do that. I need my hair to look like that. You this can be you. Just like you for real. Just put braids in your hair and forget. That's what she probably does. Hold on, I need to get this blush to be a little more intense. That's cute for the freckles. Thank you! There's some, like, freckles on a character literally heightens the design tenfold. Something about them only being on the bridge of the nose is super cute. I don't know why. Because she's so pale, it might. Well, maybe not. Okay, for her eyes, I just kind of did this really dark blue that shines really. I just remembered. Okay, hear me out. For Greenland. This is something that I've been dying to do with one of my characters, like that are up north, the Northern Lights in the eyes. That's the only way I could think to pitch it. Where like the eyes are super colorful and shiny, and if you look hard enough, you can see the Northern Lights like reflected almost in them. I don't think that I'm gonna do it for Vinland. I don't think that would work. Yeah, Vinland is in Canada, but oh, I forgot that I did like a purple. Yeah, no, it was a really dark purple that I did for her. But maybe Greenland. Maybe we can get that to work for Greenland. I gave her purple eyes with a little bit of a blue shine. I remember that now. Sounds great. I don't know how the hell I would do it. I tried to do that. Originally, I was going to do that with Helsinki. When I was first working on her colors, I can't remember my reasoning for not doing it. I think I just couldn't get it to look right, but I'm a different artist now. I have grown. I know how to add multiple colors and eyes now. Having Premon as an OC literally made me learn how to do that. Okay. Oh Lord, she's a comin'. She's almost here. Man, doing renders of Vinland would be fun because of how shapeless she is. I think this is, funnily enough, I think this is too bright of a green for her. I think it needs to be a little more yellow to really lean into the meadow aspect. And maybe a little more desaturated, which is saying something because looking at my wheel, I don't know how much more desaturated I can get. I mean, I can a little bit, but not that much. Also, should the inside of her cloak have a color? This was something I considered, but I wasn't sure to really sell the like intricate design hidden underneath the cloak thing. My only thing is I don't know how historically accurate patterning on the inside of cloaks are. And if it is historically accurate, I can't imagine anyone less than disgustingly rich would be able to afford it. Okay, actually, this green is kind of growing on me. It's a very chalkboard green. I might tinge it yellow, and that's it. Funny enough, I think the hair might be too red. I think I want to make it browner. Like I know it's technically a brown, but I think it needs to go more. Here we go. Wait a minute. We're around something. Now the green is kind of clashing with the hair. It's like the same value. Hold on. So either I make the cloak darker or I make it lighter. Or I just keep pushing and pulling until I get somewhere I like. This isn't bad. This like general wheelhouse. I think I'm going to forego the coloring on the inside of the cloak. That probably would be way too expensive for someone like her to afford. Because she's dead. Right, and then her wool shirt was going to be this like olivey green. A little more yellowy. Again, selling the earth meadow And then her shoes, we're gonna go really warm. We're gonna go real warm brown. It's almost purple. Hold on. Isn't it weird how if you go like to a certain degree on the color wheel, your reds look purpley, but you're still well within the wheelhouse of, warm tones? Isn't that wild? And then you would see a little bit of her cloak behind her because her other foot is like right here. Actually, I'm gonna try something. Selling the Earth Meadow sounds like a sales pitch. Hey, this bad boy can fit so many earths and meadow symbolism in its design. Slaps the top of her head. This baby can fit so much trauma and symbolism. Okay, something that is bothering me. This. That. I think I'm gonna. I don't want to reuse that brown. I'm gonna make it like a bronze-ish color to pop off the green a little bit, and then Jasper's a little redder, so we'll go brighter, not that bright, a little more red. That's gross. Maybe Benji, Papa. Hmm. Here we go. That's good. Where's that original color I had? And Jasper, it not shiny. You can shine it, but I know Jasper has some weird coloration in it. So, just for my sake to remember, I'm gonna give it bands. Jasper have bands? I don't know. I'm giving him though. You're a real estate agent. These just kind of look like little Jupiters. Anyway, I'll definitely remember what that's supposed to translate to. Should I change the color of the eyes? Do the eyes kind of look... No, I'm gonna stick with my guns on that. I'm just gonna change the shade. I'm sticking with my guns on the eyes. I might futz with the... Oh, bald. Mess with the hair. Could we go darker? Hold on. Let me save the original hair color. Jasper can have bands. As a treat. Good for her, honestly. Hmm. Maybe I add a little color to her skin. Because looking at this drawing, I feel like the hair and the everything goes pretty well together. And that is probably because this green is like significantly dark. Like look at that. Look at this. That's a significantly darker green. Maybe that's actually the way I gotta go. Gotta stop being weirdly precious with it. Whoops. Why? Hmm. Did that do anything? Okay, the color does change. I don't know why it didn't that time. Everything's just clashing. Maybe, okay, you know what? Maybe it's the lines. Because I do red line art and that kind of throws colors off. But the hair and the shoes are such a similar color. Um, Maybe if I make the leather of her shoes a little more yellow leaning. Because, like, everything under, like, her shirt is, ew, that, like, olivey color. So maybe leaning the yellow. No, that would be. Let's go a little blue with the green. Why? Oh my god. Okay, fine. No tolerance. My first thought when you made it darker was that she looks like a British detective. Sorry you had to go and die, Vinland. You would have loved the BBC British detectives. Okay. Thoughts on this? I'm gonna mess with the hair a little bit. Because it's so long and it's such a solid color, I'm gonna add a little bit of a gradient to it just to show that, like, I don't know what it shows. It's just neat. Let's see. Let's slap the red line art, like the regular line art, back on her. Yeah, you see, the colors kind of get ruined with my normal line art, so let's just go like a dark red because I don't want to go full black. Mm, I I think it's solid. I think it's cute actually. I'm not gonna do the blush. And with her done, we can move on to Greenland, which I think will be a task and a half. Yay, there she is. How tall is she? Hold on a second. Hold on. How tall are you? Like 144 centimeters. What does that translate to? Hold on, 144 centimeters. 100 centimeters. 56 inches. I don't know what that means. Okay, roughly 4'7". That feels right. Okay, so like 4'7". Why can't? Okay, roughly 4'7" or 100 and girl 144 centimeters. I guess we don't really have to. Age. Because the settlement only was around for like 10 or so years. it would be very easy to just go, oh, she's 10. But I don't think a 10-year-old. Can a 10-year-old be. Hold on. How tall are 10-year-olds? Okay, so like 10 centimeters shorter than what I have her at. So maybe she's like a tall 10-year-old. Oops. And then roughly 10 years old. Yeah! There she is! Oh my god! Let me make a color palette for her real quick. So when I go back and I clean everything up and I like make it look actually nice, I have her colors saved somewhere. And then I'll look up actual reference of Jasper when I color in the Jasper. But for now, no. Nice. Yay, Vinland is done. Now for Greenland. So, okay, Greenland obviously would be. Oh, that's another thing. Greenland. I don't know if you guys knew this, but Greenland is still a country. So. And technically, they should be older than Iceland, because Iceland was just not inhabited before the Vikings came over. Greenland was. Okay, so here's the question. For the rest of these, I guess Greenland would be the exception, because if we do Svalbard, I'm pretty sure that's also going to be a dead kid. Should Greenland look modern, I guess is the best way to phrase that? Like, we have Vinland, there she is. Mwah. She died, so she's stuck in 1100 AD. Do we draw Greenland as he would have looked in 1100 AD? Or do we just go full ham design? Because this whole thing is Viking Age settlements. So do we do Greenland as it would have been during the Viking Age? Or modern? Hey Rue, welcome to the stream. Made it just in time for Greenland. Like, either way would be fun. I'm leaning towards Greenland as he would have looked in 1100 AD, because I like drawing Viking Age medieval Scandinavian clothing. But I guess Greenland would look different, because again, like, there are people already living there. I'm gonna pull up the wiki page for Greenland as I wait. Greenland. I want to say back in Viking Age. Viking Age? Yeah, that's what I'm leaning toward. Okay, so that makes it easy, because that means we can just look through the wiki page. We can read some. Oh my god, their coat of arms is a polar bear! Wow. Wonderful. But yeah, no, that might make it easier as far as like reading the history, because that only gives us like 2 things on the wiki to read, or 3 things. 4, which would be the summary, the etymology, early Paleo, Inuit culture, and then Norse settlement. So let me switch the screen over so y'all can see what I am looking at and we can read together. Or not. There we go. Okay. Greenland. And then a bunch of pronunciations. An island country in North America that is part of the Kingdom of Denmark, located between Arctic and Atlantic Oceans, east of Canadian Arctic Archipelago. World's largest island. One of 3 constituent countries that form the Kingdom of Denmark, along with Denmark and the Faroe Islands. Oh my god! I forgot, Faroe Islands was another design that I wanted to do. Okay, so we'll save Svalbard until like the very end, if there's time. We're doing Faroe Islands after Greenland. I completely forgot about her. Oh my god. Sorry, girly. Though part of the continent of North America, Greenland has politically and culturally associated with Europe, specifically Norway and Denmark, the colonial powers, for more than a millennium beginning in 986. Habited at intervals over at least the last 4,500 years by Arctic peoples whose forebears migrated from what is now Canada. Norsemen settled the uninhabited southern part of Greenland beginning in the 10th century, having previously settled Iceland. Inuit arrived in the 13th century. I had no idea, though under continuous influence of Norway and the Norwegians. Not formally under the Norwegian crown until 1261, Norse colonies disappeared in the late 15th century after Norway was hit by the Black Death and entered a severe decline. Oh. Uh-oh. Ooh, ooh. Oh my god, so we'd be drawing pre-Black Death Greenland. And then I could do something different for his design as he would look now after recovering from the Black Death. Early 17th century, Danish explorers, I don't care. Etymology. Early Norse settlers named the islands as Greenland. In the Icelandic sagas, the Norwegian-born Icelander Eric the Red was exiled from Iceland for manslaughter. I remember that. Along with his extended family and thralls, he set out in ships to explore icy land known to lie to the northwest. Named it Greenland, supposedly in the hope that the pleasant name would attract settlers. Saga of Eric the Red states, in the summer, Eric left to settle in the country he had found, which he called Greenland, as he said people would be attracted there if it had a favorable name. That's really funny. Okay, so all in favor of making Greenland attractive, like in his modern design. I think it'd be funny. Post-plague scarring. I don't... Okay, first of all, I'm gonna have... Because of course I'm gonna have to look up the symptoms of the Black Death. So let me pull up the Black Death in a different Google thing. In a different tab, that's what they're called. And then I'll read the symptoms of Black Death and see what I could do as far as scarring. Anyway, earlier Paleo-Inuit. Greenland was home to several successive Paleo-Inuit cultures, known today primarily through archaeological finds. Earliest entry of the Paleo-Inuit into Greenland is thought to have occurred about 2500 BC, from around 2500 BC to 800 BC. Southern and western Greenland were inhabited by I thought there'd be a phonetic thing on the little pop-up tab. There isn't. Most finds of the Sakha period archipelago archaeological remains have been around Disco Bay, including sites of Sakha, after which the culture is named. Okay, so let's... From 24 BC to 1300 BC, Independence I culture existed in northern Greenland. Part of the Arctic small tool tradition, towns including Delta Terracerine started to appear. That's a name. Around 800 BC, the Sakha culture disappeared and the early Dorst culture emerged in western Greenland and the Independence II culture in northern Greenland. What in the world is going on in this state? On this island, I mean. The Dorse culture was the first culture to extend throughout the Greenlandic coastal areas, both in the west and east coast, lasted until the total onset of the Thule culture in 1500 AD. The Norse culture population was primarily from hunting whale and caribou. Y'all see how that's only 2 paragraphs, right? Literally, how so much happened. What in the name? God, oh God, there's so more. There's so more. From 986, Greenland's west coast was settled by Icelanders and Norwegians. Okay. When did Denmark show up? Through a contingent of 14 boats led by Eric the Red, they formed 3 settlements known as the Eastern Settlement, Western Settlement, and Middle Settlement, on fjords near the southwesternmost of tip of the island. Okay, that makes sense. They shared the island with the late Norse culture inhabitants who occupied the northern and western parts, and later with the Thule culture that entered from the north. Norse Greenlanders submitted to Norwegian rule in 1261 under the Kingdom of Norway. Later, the Kingdom of Norway entered a personal union with Denmark and was part of the Kalmar Union. Who'd have guessed? 3rd century, disappeared sometime 15th century, perhaps the onset of Little Ice Age. Apart from some runic inscriptions, the only contemporary records or histography that survives from the Norse settlements is of their contact with Iceland or Norway. Medieval Norwegian sagas and historical works mention Greenland's economy as well as the bishops of Gardar and the collection of tithes. A chapter in the King's Mirror describes Norse Greenland's exports and imports as well as grain cultivation. Okay, so another one of we don't know much about it from the Viking Age. From what I've already read, it's not giving me much. Oh, wait, hold on. I'll move the Black Death over so I know to look at that last. If anything I read inspires anything, please just drop it in chat. I am not getting much of anything. Icelandic saga accounts of the life in Greenland were composed in 13th century or later and do not constitute primary sources for the history of early Norse Greenland. Who'd have thought? Those accounts are closer to primary for more contemporaneous accounts of late Norse Greenland. Modern understanding, therefore, mostly depends on the physical data from archaeological sites. Interpretation of ice core and clamshell data, suggests that between 800 and 1300 AD, the regions around the fjords of southern Greenland experienced a relatively mild climate, several degrees Celsius. Hold on, let me reread that. Region around the fjords of southern Greenland experienced a relatively mild climate, several degrees Celsius higher than usual in the North Atlantic. The trees and herbaceous plants growing and livestock being farmed. Barley was grown as a crop up to the 70th parallel. What does that mean? Ice cores indicate Greenland had a dramatic temperature shifts many times over the past 100,000 years. Famine during winters in which old and helpless were killed and thrown over cliffs. Jesus. Okay. A bit intense. Maybe intense is a good characterization. We'll start with that. I feel like this is a good starting point because, again, I remember reading about how difficult it was to find a place to dock because of the fjords all over the coast. So that combined with whatever the hell is going on with this continent's weather. Maybe Greenland is just a very intense person. He does everything at like 110. Because, I mean, the old and helpless were killed and thrown over cliffs. That's a little much. These Icelandic settlements vanished 14th, early 15th century. Demise of Western settlement coincided with a decrease in summer and winter temperatures. A study of North Atlantic seasonal temperature variability during the Little Ice Age showed a significant decrease in maximum summer temps beginning in the late 13th century, as much from 11 to 14 degrees Fahrenheit lower. Early abandoned, 15th century during cold period. Archaeological excavations in the 1920s. Human bones from this period that the Norse population was malnourished, possibly because of soil erosion, resulting from the Norsemen's destruction of natural vegetation in the course of farming, turf cutting, and wood cutting. E. Malnutrition may also have resulted from widespread deaths from pandemic plague. Who'd have thought? Declining temperatures, conflicts with the Skrawlings, Norse word for Inuit, no, meaning wretches? Good God. Okay. Recent archaeological studies somewhat challenge the general assumption that the Norse colonization had a dramatic negative environmental effect on the vegetation. Data support traces of a possible Norse soil amendment strategy. More recent evidence suggests that the Norse, who never numbered more than about 2,500, gradually abandoned the Greenland settlements over the 15th century as walrus ivory, the most valuable export, decreased in price because of competition with other sources of higher quality ivory, and there was actually little evidence of starvation or difficulties. Okay, my book report. They were malnourished, but also maybe not. Or they were malnourished, but that is not why they died out. They abandoned the settlement because it was getting colder, and the big export, which was ivory, was more and more difficult to find because of competition. I remember reading about how big a deal walrus ivory was in my class. Other explanations: lack of support from homeland, probably. Shipborne marauders, rather than Inuit, could have plundered and displaced the Greenlanders. Victims of hidebound thinking and of hierarchical society dominated by the church and the biggest landowners. In their reluctance to see themselves as anything but Europeans, the Greenlanders failed to adopt the kind of apparel that the Inuit employed as protection against the cold and damp, or to borrow any of the Inuit hunting gear. That's super funny. Walrus tusk earring? I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Like, maybe, but I don't know. Maybe it's because of my modern perception of like ivory and how it is, but maybe that portion of the Greenlander population willing to adopt Inuit ways and means intermarried with and assimilated into Inuit community. Unsolved Mysteries of the Arctic, Chapter 1. Much of the Greenland population today is mixed Inuit and European ancestry. It was impossible in 1938 when Simpson wrote his book to distinguish between intermarriage before the European loss of contact and after the contact was restored. Norse society structure created a conflict between the short-term interests of those in power and the long-term interests of society as a whole. Wait, let me reread that. Norse society structure created a conflict between short-term interests of those in power and long-term interests of society as a whole. Got it. And I'm not going to read anything else past that because we are well past the Viking Age with everything else written there. Okay, I'm just going to start scrolling down. Nonsense. Maybe a brooch of a walrus ivory would suit the Norse aesthetic. Maybe. Wait, you know what? And then I went silent. So the Vikings, I'm gonna assume this applies to Scandinavians in general, but I know for a fact that Vikings were super big on personal hygiene, especially hair care. And I've been thinking about throwing a comb design into one of them. Throwing the comb into the hair as part of the design to kind of allude to that. maybe walrus ivory combs are a thing. If we can connect that to Greenland, then I think there might be a way we could put it in. Maybe Greenland could be mixed Inuit white because half the island was Inuk and half was European. That's what I was thinking. That's why I pulled up Paleo Eskimo as. Is there a phonetic? Is there a way? How do I say? How do I say it? Wait, no, it's gonna kill me. I need to know how to say this. Why don't you have phonetic pronunciation? I'm going to shake you. Anyway, right, the comb. Chronology of walrus ivory trade. Hunting of walruses for ivory in North Greenland is testified by the archaeological. But are the combs a thing? Am I on to something with that? Did I throw the dart blindly and hit? Okay, that's combined. Combined combination. Okay, nothing about combs in here, so that's not what I wanted. Was it treasured walrus ivory that drove Vikings to sail? Yes. Ah! Literally right when I was reading the sentence that I wanted to hear. I'm not disabling my ad blocker for you. They're a thing from what I remember. They sound familiar, but I want to double check. Delicate utensils, religious sign, and gifts for royalty. Sword hilts, gaming pieces, sacramental objects. Walrus tusks were exported, still attached to the animal's snout, then broken off once they were ready to be carved. Yikes. Oh, wait, no, the Islamic world used the ivory for hilts, game pieces, and objects. Okay, that's just straight up the tusk. It's a carving. This is something from the Thule culture. A woman's comb made from walrus ivory. So I don't know how we could style this into the design. It would kind of look a little goofy. A whale tail comb made of walrus ivory from 0 AD. Fnuk or Thule culture. That could be a good reference too. I don't really know how you can style hair and have a comb in it, but we will figure it out. Okay. Paleo Eskimo. People inhabit the Arctic region of, I can't say that word, present day Russia. Across North America to Greenland. Da, 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 this is a lot of words. I can't read. Frozen remains of a still not going to give me a phonetic way to say it. Sakak, person dubbed Inuk, were found in western Greenland and have been DNA sequenced. He had brown eyes, black hair, and shovel-shaped teeth It has been determined that he lived 4,000 years ago, relative to native populations in northeastern Siberia. The mm, people were not the ancestors of the contemporary Kalalit, Kalalit, Kalalit people, but instead are related to the modern Chukchi and Koryak people. It is not known whether they crossed boats over ice. I'm gonna take the brown eyes, black hair for our design. Um, okay, I'm going to hold on. Because having reference for the outfits would be handy. Because if we're gonna, okay, I know we literally just read how some people didn't really adopt to the local Inuit like clothing, and maybe that's why they died out and like couldn't stand the colder temperatures. But hear me out. Because the island was shared by Norsemen and local Inuit people, what if we found a way to combine like the outfits? Like medieval Scandinavian clothing with I wish I knew the names of these jackets. With traditional Inuit coats and pants. I'm just saying, I think the combo of the big fluffy hood with like a cape or a cloak would look sick as hell. And then I have to remember about the Black Death when I do his modern design. Because like see the patterns along here, it'd be kind of cool to um, do this sort of coat with like maybe this the hem of the sleeves having a um, Scandinavian inspired pattern. Okay, before I scroll further, this picture looks like it's pictures of mummies, like half decayed bodies. If this is something that is going to be upsetting to you, do not look. I will tell you when I've scrolled past the picture, but it looks like it's a very upsetting picture to look at. So I'm warning y'all now. I'm gonna read what it says, and then I'm gonna scroll past it. I'll say when I've scrolled past it, just in case somebody can't, like, doesn't want to look at it. Okay, culture names, village, where the first findings of these people occurred. Dorset culture, from Greenland. I've scrolled past the picture. Discovered in Greenland, 2 hunters. The cold, dry climate of Greenland has preserved them well. Oh, you know what? You know what? Okay, I'm gonna take this picture as reference, but the picture of the mummies, I didn't get a good look at them, but they might be wearing clothes, and that's really good reference. I'm going back to the picture, warning y'all now. I'm going back to the mummy picture. I'm gonna take a pic of just that. And that's it. Okay, I'm gone. Dog sledding. Oh, yeah. Used for transportation and fishing, though we also know boats and snowmobiles these days. Man-made stone cairns used for navigation that were used to mark travel route, fishing spots, camping spots. Oh, I've heard of these knives. They use them to cut blubber. Or, okay, maybe not just blubber. Maybe it makes sense to use a knife to cut anything that needs to be cut. But I've seen videos of Inuit women preparing, like, fat and using this to cut it. So I've seen this type of knife before. Yes, the tattoos. This is what I wanted to read about. Different Inuit cultures all have a history of tattooing. This practice almost disappeared when the missionaries who came to Greenland banned it. Of course they did. Similar thing happened in Alaska. Fortunately, Inuit tattooing and other aspects of our culture heritage are now making a comeback 100 years after they were squashed. Okay, I'm gonna look more into the tattoos. Inuit tattoos for good measure. Because it said the cultures are different, so maybe we'll get better results by looking at Greenland. Or no, what was the main culture? It was SAQ SAQQAQ. Dog sledding, not what I wanted. Traditional tattoos practice done almost exclusively among women. I didn't know it was women exclusive. Okay, so no tattoos for him. Men could also receive tattoos, but these were much less extensive than the tattoos a woman would receive. Okay. Transition to womanhood. Unique individual meaning. Okay, so right. He does not get tattoos. Alright, let's get into it. So if we're going Viking Age Greenland, he wouldn't be very old, so let's see. We made Vinland 4-7. Let's make Greenland. Okay, 4-7 is 144 centimeters. We make him like 160 centimeters. That's like 5 foot something, right? I'm gonna make him like around 160 centimeters because I think that's like 5 foot something or other. And Greenland is like huge, so maybe he's just like a tall kid. He's also okay. If we're doing a snapshot of him from around, let's just say, the 12th century. That's kind of what we're going with. It did say a lot how the people in the Norse settlements were malnourished, that they weren't able to eat enough or their crops were failing. Erosion was also an issue. Erosion could translate to this was a period where Greenland was not very healthy. So I wanted him to be very round, but maybe we like show how much the Scandinavian colony was like struggling. I guess a settlement was struggling. And he's like a little thinner. 5'2". Hold on, I don't know what 5'2" would translate to. Oh my god, I never switched OBS. There we go. $157 centimeters. Okay. So I was a little off. I was close though. 157. So that puts him like right about here. I do kind of want him to have that round head. Like him not eating enough wouldn't change how round I think his head would be. Well, let me pull up the reference pictures. I took so many pictures and I just didn't put them on my thing. Let me pull some of those up. Well, these are all older people, and I'm drawing a young man, so that doesn't help me. Hold on. Oh, did the picture not? Oh, of course, it's a web file. Because why wouldn't it be? Okay, there we go. Personality, I forgot entirely. What I said, very intense because of the extreme terrain and the conditions of the island. Well, that's not really a face that reads as intense. Well, if he's intense. You can't get much more intense than that. I'll just start with the body and we'll go from there. I don't know what this pose is turning into, but it's kind of nice. You said he's intense because the old and weak would die and be thrown off cliffs. That too. Uh, okay, yeah. Maybe he's like chilled out over the years, but at this point in time, he's still a little like, whoa, take it easy, man. Does a gay little pose and pisses you off. You know, at the beginning of the stream, I said that I was officially on break, but today's the last day professors have to get grades in, and I'm still waiting to hear back on a really big assignment, and I am scared. The longer the day goes on, the more worried I get. Does a gay little pose piss you off? What to do with these arms? I'm excited to get to Faroe Islands because I have like a single idea. Because I know the Faroe Islands were named after the immense amounts of sheep that was found there. And you know I'm gonna give them a little sheep friend. You know I gotta do it. But I don't know, I associate the look of like, you know, character, face, and then like hair covering the eyes. It feels so sheep. And that was actually one of my original design ideas for Vinland because I thought we don't know a lot about her, so let's cover her face. Like, we don't even know what she really looked like. We don't have the full scope of what the settlement was like at its peak. So let's cover her face to show that. But I don't know. I couldn't get it to look right. I hated how it looked. Also, the idea of the big cloak and the big hair was a lot nicer. But then I remembered Pharaoh and the sheep, and I'm like, hey. I look at you, and I'm like, oh. So I think that'd be kind of fun to try and translate into a design. These arms, I swear to God. You see, Vinland was easy. And that still took an hour. I really, the urge to just put his little hand right here and call it a day. Like, this would be so easy. Because look, it's done. But I don't like it. His hand looks hella broken. He's also giving me, like, not Dorito, but like large upper body, smaller upper body. I don't know why. Like maybe when in his older design, he's got like really broad shoulders. Lord help me. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna brown eyes, black hair, just so that I remember. Yeah, I am not immune to hand on hip for easy pose. This is just so easy. It comes so naturally. But it's so bad. Do I just go with it? Do I just stop caring so much? Maybe I stopped caring so much. Hmm. You know, remember how at the beginning of the stream I said, oh, I think this will be easy because I know generally enough about these things so I can talk at length about them and there won't be weird pauses. And then there's been like weird pauses. I've hit a rut. I've run out of things to say. I could go get my Norse mythology book and find stuff in there. I always feel like things happen during the week. And I'm like, haha, I could make that into a funny post. But then I go, no, 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 no. It'll be funnier if you do it on stream because then you can control the delivery and it'll be hysterical. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. I'll wait until stream. And then I forget. I forgot. Cause I know this week I literally had a thought of, haha, that'll be funny to talk about on stream. And then I didn't. Well, I need that outfit reference put up again. Do they have pockets? It sure does look like they do. What if I do like a cross the body hand, this hand on hip, this hand resting kind of like on top of the hand. It's a little silly. It's really silly. But maybe. Perchance, maybe, perhaps. Hmm. Drawing hands that go across the body like this is so difficult because getting the top part of the arm to look right is really hard. Because you look at it on a real person and there's a weird like squish and mesh between the arm, like on the arm chest area right here. That's the part that'll look weird right there. Getting that to look right is so hard just because it's so weird in real life when you do that. It's a single transitional line between two different parts of your body, but it looks so stupid and you draw it and you're like, hey, that doesn't look right, but it is. Whatever, this is what I'm going with. I can't. I can't think. All right, let's give him a face. Oh, hair. I didn't think about hair. I have to go. Good luck with your designs. Thank you. Goodbye, B. Thank you for stopping by. I didn't think about hair at all. Hold on. Um. Hmm. I don't want to know about women hair. Do I? There's a link called Traditional Inuit Hairstyles. You will never guess what website it takes you to. It goes to Wattpad. It goes to Wattpad. Oh god, I have to know. Hold on. Huh. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me look at the creator. Huh. Wait, hold on. This creator. Okay, they say they're Inuit. So like, wait a minute. Basically, okay, traditionally women had short hair most of the time that was either bound up into a style or cut into a short choppy pixie or bob. For the most part, it was men that had long hair, with the exception of kids and the elderly. Okay, men would usually grow their hair to their shoulders, but some would grow it to their hips, and they would usually have it loose, but sometimes they would cut the sides or bangs or wear braids or buns, typically at the side of the head. Having dark, shiny hair with a pronounced hair part in the center was generally considered to be beautiful. Both men and women would wear jewelry, ribbons, and flowers in their hair, but the type of jewelry and its placement varies upon tribe and region. Holy shit. Oh, and then it goes into a fanfic, a historical fanfic. Barnabas? Maybe not a fanfic, but a historical fiction story. Interesting. Okay. So, part in the middle, shiny hair. Men wore it long, except for children and elderly. Okay. So, he's baby. He is child. So, his hair wouldn't be very long. This is pretty good reference. It did mention jewelry, and we do have that comb, and I kind of want to find a way to incorporate the comb into the hair design. So I'm gonna look up like hair styles with combs. Would you know it? It's all fancy updos. Hmm. Okay, a lot of it is like hair pulled from the front, and then they use the comb to kind of like pin it down along the side. So maybe something like that. And so he'd still have his like hair down. One picture I saw was a lad with his hair like this. Hold on, that is literally not even a part down the middle. There we go. His hair kind of looked like this. That was some hair reference that I found online. And I do love using stray hairs to kind of represent the curls, but I do that so much I probably shouldn't. Maybe this is literally just a stray hair. I'm going to rough out like a nose shape. Where'd that man go? Hold on. Hello, man. Okay, so not really like this, but kind of like this. And then let me look at wait, what is his eye shape again? Okay, he's smiling, so his eyes are kind of squinted. Oh, he has really high cheekbones. Okay, got it. Hmm, this is taking a lot longer than I thought. Doesn't have hooded eyes. At least doesn't look like it. A very narrow nose bridge. That's something common I'm seeing. Hmm. Okay. I messed up. We gotta go bald. Let me pull up the reference of the comb. I like the first comb we saw, the one that kind of looked like this. And that had the teeth. That was kind of cool. So maybe we go with like a that. Or maybe we just don't. Maybe not. The more I think about it, the less I think it works in the design. It was a cool idea, but I don't think I can execute it properly. As far as like blending the sort of coats with medieval Scandinavian clothing, I'm not really sure how to go about that. I'm just gonna start drawing the hood of his coat because wow, fluff. Looks like so much fun to draw. I'm gonna start drawing the fluff of his coat. Things we can take from hold on, Scandinavian clothing. The only thing I could think of is like the patterning, which patterning wasn't very common on like the on their clothes. That was just something to put on Vinland to signify that, to really sell the culturally rich but not really seen aspect of her design. But like other than that, I'm trying to think. Capelets I know were a thing. The kind of like off the shoulder cape that only covers that part, that's very medieval Scandinavian. Uh, the belts. Women had the box brooches. But again, women. Um, Hold on. How in the world are these coats? How do they make sense? Hmm. Belts and like things hanging off the belts. I see that a lot. Kind of like if you had like a sword, that was a thing. I I don't want to do like runic patterns because I know some runes, like traditional Norse runes, are used as like really intense white supremacy symbols nowadays. So I'm just gonna avoid that. Um, so no Norse runes. I guess we can look at like old carvings. I know there's some funny knot shapes in runic carvings of Jormungandr. Don't really think I could find a way to link Jormungandr or serpents at that to Greenland. Are there even snakes in Greenland? I'm not doing this color right. Hold on, I need to just pick something and draw because this poor boy has been naked. He's not gonna survive the winter. Hmm. Hmm. Right, he's intense. He's thinking. He thinks so hard. He puts so much energy into having a thought. Hmm. I'm getting this eye shape right. What are some fun, like, quirky design elements we can give him? Because, yes, historical accuracy is very important, especially because we're taking a snapshot of him from a certain time period, but we can get silly with it. I literally can't think of anything. The, I'm kind of happy we didn't read too much on the wiki page for him, because that was like only the we only needed the first couple bits of it to really do what we need to do here. But man, I'm sure if I kept reading, I would have found something a lot more interesting. Oh, okay. Here's the thing: does he get a hair curl? He the does he get a hair curl to represent the fjords? Does Norway's hair curl represent the fjords, or did I make that up? I'm starting to think I made that up. I feel like he should get a hair curl. Dude, I know I said I don't want to do the hair down the center of the face to be the hair curl because I do that a lot, but like, wouldn't it just look so silly if literally just hold on, I can like imagine how silly this would look. Like just on his face. Just give him curly hair. I don't think I'd want to though, because oh my back. Everything I was reading about like Inuit hair was saying how long and shiny and sleek it is. And I don't know how dominant of a trait curly hair was with Scandinavia. Like I give Norway slightly curled hair, but not really. It's just not curvy, more like bouncy. Is it bad that this is growing on me? This stupid hair curl in the middle of his face. Oh wait, he's kind of cute. His one eye is a little wonkus, but nothing that can't be fixed. Okay, I'm gonna roll with this. I'm gonna roll with this for a little bit, and let's see where it takes us. Then part down the middle. A prominent part down the middle was what was said to be beautiful, and we all agreed. We all agreed that we would make him cute. So you know what? He parted his hair down the middle one time when he was younger, and then like some older grandma was like, "Oh, how what a handsome young man," or the equivalent of that. And he was like, "Oh, I am a handsome young man," and then he just forever and always puts his hair down the middle. Oh, hey, Kara! Welcome to the stream. We're in the middle of hemming and hawing over Greenway and figuring out what his design should be. He has hair, which you know what is a step further than where we were earlier, so I'll take it. Oh, the dog is angry. I can hear him. He's just yelling. Maybe You, okay, maybe his hair, as he gets older, starts to get a bit of a curl to it. Not a curl, but like a wave. But right now, as it is, when he's younger, I'm literally gonna have to rewatch the stream to hear everything I'm saying about Greenway and his older design because I'm going to forget. Excuse me. Um, I forgot. Oh, right, yeah. So yeah, maybe as he gets older and his hair gets longer, it starts to get more of a wave to it. But for now, it's just this like thing lying flat on his head. I'm drawing because I'm a loser and don't want to watch the World Cup. I forgot the World Cup is going on today. All, dude, so many kids at work love the World Cup. Like I was being grilled yesterday on like what country I stand with the World Cup. Okay, not actually. They were talking about players, but when I'm like, literally, who are they? They told me what country they play for, and literally nothing else. Um, I think Messi was one of them because, of course, he was, and then another one from. Oh God, I don't know. I don't know. One was from Spain. One was from Argentina. Whatever country Messi is from, then whatever the big player from that other country is, because I don't know. The kids were so adamant that I learn everything about soccer at that moment. Or no, I called it football. I called it soccer in front of them. I figured, yeah, like I know it's called football, but you know they're kids. They're gonna call it soccer. No, they corrected me very poignantly. So at that, they were like, "No, football." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah, football. You got it." And then I had to explain to a bunch of kids who don't care about soccer or football why it's called football in other countries and we call it soccer. No, it's not football with the Bucks, which is like the big team in the next city over. It's not football like that. It's football like kick with your foot in Europe. That was a fun conversation to have. Explaining things to kids is funny. Anyway, thoughts on this for the face before we move on to like the clothing. They gave him really high cheekbones. His nose is really tiny. Hold up. I'm gonna move his mouth up and make his nose a little bigger. Messi is from Argentina. Okay, then I don't know who the bigwig was from Spain, but kids were very adamant that I know who both of they are. Both of them are, and I didn't. Like I knew Messi. I feel like everybody's heard the name Messi, but this other guy, I just had no idea. Oh my god, Argentina plays so dirty in their match. Oh, oh no. We're getting into football drama. The fur on the coat collar on this one lady that I'm looking at kind of looks like this. Ooh, okay. No, elaborating more on like the reasoning why I want to combine Inuit clothing and Scandinavian clothing. Because yeah, yes, the Vikings had a reputation, and yeah, kind of deserved. However, it is not entirely accurate in certain aspects. A lot of people think that Vikings were just evil, anti-Christian, hated Christians. No, that wasn't it. They and the evidence for this is, oh, but they only targeted like churches and missionaries. Wow, I wonder why they targeted churches. Huh. I wonder why they targeted churches that housed literally so much money and expensive like things and metals. I wonder why the plundering and pillaging pirates targeted the place that had the expensive goods. Hmm. Anyway, but a lot of the times when Vikings would settle down somewhere, instead of like making whoever they find assimilate into their culture, they would adopt aspects from that person's culture, which is why Christianization happened so effectively in Scandinavia. Because the Christians came over and they were like, hey, God. And they were like, God? God, yeah, okay. Yeah, he can hang out with Thor, right? The J Man can hang out with Loki for a little bit, right? Because they would just adopt religions and culturals from other cultures as a way of like establishing relationships and solidifying trade and such like that. And also because of this, that is also why the culture died out, because they would assimilate really hard and really effectively and just disappear, just like the Norsemen in Normandy. That really became its own culture because they blended so hard with France. Um, Normandy would be an interesting person to design. We don't have time for that. Um, so yeah, that is another reason why the Vikings of the Viking Age kind of like into nothing. They Christianized and assimilated themselves so hard into the surrounding cultures. But anyway, that's why I want to do a combo of Inuit Viking clothing to kind of call back to that trend of theirs where they would adopt certain aspects from certain cultures. I just think it's neat. Yeah, the Vikings were scary, effective at what they did. Like, oh my god, they literally made boats so light you could carry them up waterways. How did they do that? But they're kind of neat too. It'd be nice if they, used their writing system that they had to write down things instead of waiting for Christians to write it all down and then mess it all up and make it unreliable. But whatever. Oh wait, England versus France. England versus France. God damn, 1-1 right now. Of course they tied. Headcanon Normandy as France's dad. I see that. I get it. Let me think about that actually. That's an interesting angle. I don't think it would have been the first thing I thought of, but it is interesting. Well, I'm having a time and a half drawing this coat. Let me find like reference for the coat. What if I type in Greenlander? Will that be easier than doing like Inuit plus Greenland every single time? That doesn't help. Oh, here we go. This helps. An Aquitaine and France's mom. Okay, if Aquitaine is France, if that's mom there, what about Gaul? Because I know some people loosely make Gaul related to France to some degree. I think I did a drawing a long time ago where like I implied Gaul was related to France in some capacity. Carpathas, that's right. Are they not? Okay, I just every time I type something in different, I get the same picture. So you know what? I'm grabbing it. Hmm. The more I look at these coats, the less like fur collars I'm seeing. Wait, wait. Oh my god. Hold on, I just found a picture of a little baby wearing one of the parkas with the really crazy fur coats, and he's literally being drowned in it. He is drowning in it. Hold on, let me pull it up. It's so funny. Hold on. No, come on, come on, come on. Yeah! Look at that. Look, his head takes up this much space, and all of that is just fluff. Whoops. Oh, that's so funny. I don't see Britannia, Gaul, and Germania as actually existing as nation because that wasn't how it worked. Fair enough. Oh, look at the little gloves. Oh my god. This is so cute. This is so cute. Anyway, moving on. Little baby lost in the fluff. Cannot see. Okay, so I'm gonna forego the fluff collar because I'm not seeing a lot of that. Like the more research I do, they have these really intense hoods that make, quite frankly, a delicious shape. Yeah, probably like kind of bounce around because in the neck, nothing like that. And then the hood kind of comes off over the shoulders. Is that ribbon from the baby you are carrying, or is that part of your coat? I can't tell. It looks like they have rope tied to like the top part of their coat coming down and then going around the waist. I'm guessing she has like a pack, or maybe that's how it's tied on her. I can't really tell. The more I look at him, the more he's giving like snobby medieval boy, like snobby fairy tale prince. I think it's literally the hair. Maybe once we get to coloring and like adding actual elements from the outfit, it won't look so goofus. Okay, wait. You know what? Actually, what if we? What if? Hold on. I'm having a fold. A fold is wrinkling in my brain right now. Hold up. Right? Right? Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? So there's like inner fabric right here, but the top part of the hood, because it looks like the hoods are segmented into two. The second part. Oh my god, that collar does not help the snobby princely look. I'm gonna hide his head. But the second part is like fur. And then the sleeves look very square. I don't. Medieval clothing period is so interesting because it's so bland. Like, not much you can do with whatever they had going on. It was so plain, and that's kind of why I like drawing Viking Age clothing. It's easy. You can kind of look at 5 outfits and then mix match the elements, add some different colors, and then bang, you got something brand new. Because, like, sure as hell they ain't getting creative back then unless they were rich. You can't be creative if you're poor. I'm sorry. Um, but yeah, so finding bits and bobs from Scandinavian clothing to mesh into this might be difficult. But difficult does not mean impossible. Just means it hurts my head. Okay, and then there's like patterns that go along the side here. And then the bottom of the coat, it's squared off in the front like that, comes up, squares off again. Oh, but this version is just round all around. The second one I'm looking at has a round hem. Also, hold up. There's something on this second coat that's actually like really cool. And it looks like it's fur coming like there's a different thing of clothing on the arm. There's a band, and then it looks like fur is coming off of it, and that looks sick as hell. Greenland's taking much longer than I thought he would. Maybe I'm just a fool. Maybe I kind of like the rounded hem a lot more. Oh wait, I forgot. This is made of hide, so it wouldn't really move the same way fabric does, huh? It'd be a lot stiffer. I can't really make sense of what's going on here. It looks like there's like a knot, so I'm gonna put a little bow. Another knot, and then it goes down along the side. At least that's what I'm seeing on this picture. Hmm. Okay. I've been saying it a lot on stream. I gotta say it again. Now we are cooking with fire. Now we are getting somewhere. I'm changing my mind again about the hem of the shirt. We're gonna go with the square. It's a more interesting shape. Nice. I can't tell what it's doing in the back. I'm assuming it comes down in a similar way, like in a similar shape. Mm, hold on. This is very thin. Hold up. Whoa. She's calling. Hmm. It, literally, the arm is blocking exactly the part that I need to see how, to see what this coat looks like when it is not, when it's done coming up like that. I'm assuming it comes down. That is my best assumption. And we are going to go with it. You know? That's the best we can do. So there's the hem, and then it looks like there's pattern. It doesn't look like I can see it. There's patterning. Maybe in like this area, and this area. That's where we can put Scandinavian inspired patterns. Cause yes, this is hide. This is fur. These are fur pelts. But I don't know, maybe he got creative with it. Maybe he had some time to spare to do something really nice with his coat. Oh god, the pants. The pants don't look too hard. Oh, those are literally sneakers. That doesn't tell me what kind of shoes you wear. Okay, a lot of these, the coats look like they go down pretty far. For the women, so what do the men look like? I don't go down too far. It looks like they got something going on with the boots where they where there's cuffs or like warmers. Something really thick going on here. One guy, it looks like these are just really thick boots. Ooh, here we go. These look like two bands of leather tied together, and I'm just gonna start giving him bows. I know I've only literally drawn one bow on him, but he's just gonna start having them now. And then the boot comes down, kind of there's a wrinkle because it's huge, so it folds over itself. There's some rope things going on with the boot. I can't really make sense of it, so I'm just gonna draw the general shape of what I see happening. Which from the front looks goof as hell. Forgive me, son. I have let you down. I can't draw shoes. Shoes look very rounded. And very thick. Looking at the shoes again, it looks like they have string tied right there. So that's more bows for him to have. And then string going over the toe. Can't see what it's doing along the side. Assuming it's just gonna follow part of the shoe. And then the pants, I'm just gonna draw them real thick. Because, I mean, that just makes sense. I am eating cheesecake. Oh my god, I'm jealous. That sounds so good. B and I were at this, like, little bakery, this little bun shop, and I always forget they have a whole, bakery in the bakery. Oh god, the cheesecake there looks so good. I bought the buns that I wanted to eat. I checked out. I walked over so B could go up and pay for their stuff, and then I looked over and I saw them, and I'm like, no, those look delicious. Anyway, what kind of cheesecake is it? Just straight up cheesecake, or is it fun cheesecake? Okay. We can take a step back now, and let's think of ways we can call back to the Scandinavian influence, because this looks very. Oh, my back. Just plain. Plain is still good. Like, this is still very much just, this is an Inuit coat. Hold on. And I am perfectly content with leaving it here. Like, if this is where it's gotta stay, then this is where it's gotta stay. I'm fine with that. But to really show how the cultures blended, I really want to find a way to just, you know, blend them. Doing that, don't know what to do. Me and my mom made it. Oh, that's nice. I haven't made a cheesecake in ever. Cheesecake sounds good. You know, I'll fix the coat later. Show the cultural blending through the dyes used. Okay, let's look at what dyes were used in the Viking Age. Through trade, Vikings obtained foreign dyes like indigo, madder, and couchiline? Cochineal. Chanel? So blue, orange, red, and then blue, red. What? Blue? Purple? Dyes could be mixed, create additional colors, or used on natural colored wools to make different shades. To make dyes adhere, the wool was heated with a small amount of mineral. Ooh. That's right. Though it was wool. I don't know how would. Okay. Putting on my thinking cap. What realistically would the hide be made out of in Greenland? We read about caribou, so maybe caribou? So I don't know how dye would react to fur, especially older dyes like that. Funny, you know what? A long while ago, when I was taking that class, I emailed my professor and I'm like, hey, for this project I'm working on for your class, excuse me, I want to draw the Birka woman, but I don't really know what to do as far as clothing. Do you have any resources for me to go to, you know, for like accurate clothing? And then she referred me to the TA who specializes in textiles, which is super cool, super cool. Like specifically Viking Age textiles. And you know what she said? She said historical reenactors hold very true to their accuracy. Like they do the research and they probably have the most accurate stuff out there. And you know what? Yeah, she's right. If you look at historical reenactors and you look at the stuff that they've made, it's a lot of consistency and it looks very close to what you see in like old drawings or carvings. So, you know, if you ever need help, there you go. And a lot of what I'm finding are just tunics. And again, they're wool, so I'm sure they're easy to dye. There's the good old, the good old cap, good old cape hood thing. Padded jacket, caps. That kind of coat, that's really cool. I'm sorry for doing the first verse to that one Weezer song. It's been stuck in my head. When Dad and I were doing yard work earlier, a Weezer song came on, and it wasn't even Billy, whatever that name is, whatever that song is called. It was something different. But that's the only other Weezer song. Okay. What if I type in Viking Age textile patterns? What about that? This doesn't help me. I don't really know what I'm looking at. Oh, there's just no pictures for the rest of these. Okay. Clothes, colors, and patterns. Again, oh, there are no pictures. Ugh. Oh. What? The Birka checked linen from grave 757. Ooh. It's a checkered, like, buff. Interesting checkered pattern. What does Vikings specifically wear again? Yeah, I know the tabards, I know the tunics. I'm not going on a website called Sons of Vikings. That sounds really sus. Okay. Back to you. I'm at a loss. I mean, I think the most I can think to do right now is with the pants, because I saw a lot of this specific type of pant that has like a really low. I don't know what to call it other than the crotch, a really low crotch. So like, yeah, there's the top of the pants, and then they kind of look like that, but like realistically, this is where the pants would end, but they're like way down here, so it kind of bunches up real funny at the bottom. I don't know what you call it other than the crotch. I saw a lot of pants like that, so get some baggier pants to match that aesthetic. A lot more folds, because boy howdy, those pants were folded. Okay, I need to play actual music so that doesn't get stuck in my head. Enough with these chill Minecraft lo-fi beats. I need the Pixies. Where is my mind is a good game, a good song. Graveyard Hill. Up in Graveyard Hill, she's coming up in Nice. We could give him a little satchel. That's something very common that I've seen. Sons of Viking site is actually really. It has a bunch of jewelry, necklaces, rings, armbands, bracelet, badass, all sorts. Totally not sus. Okay. Great for reference. That's good to know. It's so annoying looking up anything about Vikings because of weirdo men like that. Anyway. I'm gonna give him like a little belt to have a little satchel, because that's something I see a lot, is like having a side like thing, bag. And then, like, my favorite thing to do with belts is do little things like that. Instead of having like a belt loop where the end of the belt goes back through, I like having it tied and twisted and hanging off the side. It's just, oh, it's so good. Oh, hold on. I remembered. This was a pattern I just remembered. No, what in the name happened? She's holding up her clothes, taking her step with each chapter and each verse. If you want a good rock band, I recommend the Pixies. I recently started listening to them, so I haven't heard a lot. But from what I've heard, they're good. This is my favorite song so far, Graveyard Hill. We can just repeat this pattern like everywhere. This is good, and I can't imagine. And I imagine having a bunch of patterns would get distracting. Oh God, B showed me a song the other day. It was so good. It was like 7 minutes long. It was a rock opera. What was it called? Ugh. I literally asked them the other day. They told me, and I said, okay. And I repeated it, and then I forgot. Okay, I think he doesn't have hands, and he needs those. Taking my last breath with each chapter and each verse. Soon I will be. Stormy night at Dracula's castle? A haunting choir, organ, and piano for 3.5 hours? Maybe another time. Sons of Viking about his page says the founder has Danish heritage, lifetime passion for Norse history, is also an official for Vikings TV show merch. Oh, and American Gods merch. Why do I have to kill my cat? Why do I have to take you back? Time for the empire. How many people knew Wilbur Soot as a Minecrafter before his band? Because apparently that's like a dissonance that people go through where they hear Lovejoy and they're like, oh, this is so good. The lead singer Wilbur Soot is so pretty and wow, he's so talented. And then they find out he's been a Minecraft YouTuber this whole time and they're like, no! I just think it's funny how people. It baffles me that people haven't heard of Wilbur Soot as a Minecrafter. I would think that they would know by from being on the internet. Like, I wouldn't have found Lovejoy if I had not watched so, so many of his stupid Minecraft videos. And then I was like, oh, he writes music? I'm in love with an e-girl? That's a weird song. Oh, his voice is pretty good. And then the rest is history. Found him through Minecraft first. Okay, so, same hat. I just need to meet somebody who found Wilbur Soot through his music first. I am fascinated. Good enough. It doesn't have to be perfect. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm not even gonna refine the side pouch. I will remember. I'll try to remember what it is. I think I will. Because I'm getting impatient and I want to move on to coloring, and I also want to move on to Faroe Islands. And then after Faroe Islands, I think that's it. Like, I only wanted to do. The goal was to only do 3, so we're only gonna do 3. So let's get on to the coloring. Oh, he doesn't have a neck. I'm so sorry, King. Maybe it's like really tight bunched up fabric. A turtleneck before turtlenecks, you know? All right. Let's get to coloring. Whoops. I'm gonna color pick a bunch of like from the skin of all these pictures that I have, and then we'll kabobble together something. I'll make like a flesh cloud. That was a sentence I said. Saving this site, it's awesome jewelry and historical artifacts. Thanks for reading out their names so I could find them, Percy. Yeah, no problem. I'll have to like go back and give them a chance. The name really scared me off. We literally had an entire lesson about the weirdo men. Or the men who are very weird about Viking culture. So that's enough to freak a man out. The flesh cloud grows. I want to point out that all these colors are picked from only like 3 people. Okay. And then we take the blur and we just kind of... Oh no, not the blur, not the blur. We don't want the blur. We want the smudge tool. Where's the smudge tool? Hello? There she is. Oh, my computer's gonna hate this. Okay. Let's bring in some of the skin tone from the rim of the cloud. Oh, this is something. This is something. You know, it's lagging on my side well enough, but I'm sure on stream it looks great. these are the three main skin tones. I'm going to smudge more that I picked from the smudge in the center. Let's just... And then walk. Got some nice sense of water. Whoop. Okay, I think I found a skin tone I like. Flesh cloud black is real. Ay. You know, I know whenever you color pick skin tones directly off a person in a picture, it doesn't really look right. I'm trying to find peace with what I've picked, but I can't help but want to mess with it a bit. It's just so saturated. My color's coming off, I'm turning white! Yeah, that's good. Okay. And then black hair. Let's go really red. And then like... like a warm black as opposed to a pure black. To kind of go along, okay, I use makeup sites for skin tone references and foundation colors. Oh, that's not a bad idea. I like the flesh cloud technique. I just think it's funny. But going back to his like personality and that headcanon that I kind of just threw to the wind earlier, that he parted his hair in the middle one time and some like older woman was like, "Oh, look at you, you handsome young man," and he was like, oh, and then internalized it. Maybe that can go in with his like intense personality, like. Sorry. So yes, he's very intense. He takes things very seriously. That includes like just things you say to him. So you tell him something looks good and he takes that to the nine and he like really leans into it. Like the day after that woman was like, "Oh, yeah, handsome little guy, handsome little guy." He woke up that morning and made sure his part was prominent. Like it could be seen from across a field. Like again, everything he does is 110. Literally everything. Okay, hold up. He needs blood. It's not a good color. I need to get better at doing blush tones for people of color. It's not hard to get it right. I saw something with like that with like darker skin leaning in this. Oh, that looks so purple. Oh my god, it blended with the thing. That and this is a makeup tutorial I saw. That you want to. It was recommended that you look for purple blush tones when shopping for makeup if you have like really dark skin. And I've tried translating that into this, into my art, I mean. It kind of worked, but it's really hard to get right. This is a pain in the butt. I'm just going to do a multiply layer on the next layer up and then erase it. This is... There, you have blood now. I hope he's happy. Why? Nice. Okay, now to figure out the colors with all this. Maybe instead of like... Okay. Let me pull some colors from the coats that I see in the pictures I've got, in the reference pictures I got. Because again, this is just animal fur, so there's a lot of colors going on in here. That's all from one coat. Let me pull up another one. This is all from another. The tone is generally cooler in this one because it looks like they're in a very snowy environment, so all of the blue bounce light is really making these browns look cold. So that's something to take into account. It could also very well just be the fur. But on this one coat, which looks warmer, it's still cool in coloration. So I don't know. Just have to be mindful of all that. These are from a picture that's a lot cooler. This is from a picture that's a lot warmer. In this picture, they're surrounded by snow. In this picture, they're surrounded by grass. So the bounce light is going to affect the coloration. Anyway, let's get to it. I think he'd look good in a lighter colored coat. I agree. I think we're going to go light tones for the most part. And then for the bits that have pattern on it, we'll go colorful. We'll go the dyed colors that we read off earlier from Scandinavia. Because I can't imagine they'd be a part of the pelt. Realistically, they would be bits of fabric, like wool, dyed and then... There's a lot on there. Ugh. Bits of wool that have been dyed and then adhered to the coat in one way or another. What time is it? Okay. Maybe there won't be enough time to do Pharaoh. Maybe there'll be enough to do a concept for Pharaoh. Pharaoh Island, I mean. I'm just going to color the entire coat. Because I'm not going to do refined drawings on stream. I'll do them off stream. I'll clean them up, fix the coloring, do real line art, all that. But for now, this is just concept. Also, maybe there's people on the blog who want to have a say that aren't on stream. And this will give them that chance. So let's make the fur bits lighter. That's going to be lighter color. This too. This part would also probably share that coloration. Actually, no, maybe I'll make this part lighter, even lighter so. More. More! More! Oh, I didn't even think about the pants. Crap. We'll get there when we get there. Okay. Then the sleeves will match the hem of the coat. Nope. Hold up. And let's find some areas to make darker. So like this part, second part of the coat. This line right here, which serves as a border between the coat and the sleeve cuff. There's supposed to be a darker bit right here, but I just colored that line in. I'm going to color it anyway, so maybe I'll remember. And similarly, right here, there's a divide between the fluff and the pelt. Let's take a look at that. Yeah. And then, let's see. For the belt, I'm gonna take whatever color I used for the boots on. What's her name? Who did I literally create? Vinland. I'm gonna take that color and use it for the belt and the pouch. Same with these bits on the shoes. I'm gonna take this color and use it for the undershirt. Come on. Ooh. For the pants, because these are modeled after the really weirdly shaped pants on those Viking sites. Maybe they are like a funny color. Not a funny color. A funky color. What does blue red? Okay, hold on. What does blue red mean? Yeah, what's blue? What the heck does blue red fabric look like? Not blue and red, you cretin. Wow, I'm finding exactly nothing that I need. Maybe blue. Blue is a color I'm seeing a lot, and maybe that'll look cool in contrast to the predominant warm tones he's got going on. Let's take, what's going on here? Are these all? Yeah, these are all pretty warm. The blue that I see a lot is like this shade of blue. Kind of like a cobalt. This isn't cobalt blue. And then we can match this blue on the wool dyed pattern bits on his coat. So that blue would match these fabric bits he's got with the pattern. The secondary color, I think, would have to be a warm tone. Because the cool tones are going to be accents. And that's it. They're not going to dominate his color palette at all. I actually really like the idea of the wool fabric being adhered to his normal coat. I'm a big fan of that. Maybe, hold on. Let's go with darker blue for the pants. Only slightly, though. Yeah? Oh, he's turning out cool. He still needs shoes. I'm just gonna take this orange. Oh no. I forgot my fill bucket was on layer mode. God. Why didn't it? Oh, because I had alpha lock on. Okay. Oh my god. Why is it loading? I didn't touch anything. Mm. I'm gonna take this lighter color and put it on the bottom of the shoe because that was something I noticed that the bottoms of the shoes are lighter. And for the secondary color, what they say, red was common? Like a maroony red. So let's go. Oh. Yeah? Oh, what if I just. No, because that's not how it works. Stitching like that. So I have to follow the pattern I drew. No cheating, Percy. I hate doing these fine details, oh my god. I'm sure it'll be a lot more fun once I do the render. But for now, this is a pain in the butt. I'm about to run out of my head, my heart, my mind because of this. I hate this. Okay. Thoughts. I don't like the red as much as I thought I would. It just kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. But I guess that's the. I don't like it though. I don't like it. Hold on. Let me try something. Okay, I think that's enough smudging. I know we didn't read anything about purple. Indigo is kind of close to purple. And I don't know what blue-red means or red-blue means in that context. Is it just a really dark blue? The same way they refer to ocean as being wine red because they didn't have a word for blue? Shit. Maybe a dark blue for the stitching? Yeah. I'm gonna... No. Like an idiot, I keep using the fill tool. This takes forever. Of course. Then I'll use that old blue from the pants. I wonder if I can cheese this. Hold up. Ah, wonderful. I can cheat. What are we listening to? Oh, nice. I'm literally holding my breath every time I touch these because there's lag and I don't know if it works or not until it actually like shows. And for all I know, Ooh! Ooh, okay, yeah, this is tasty. Hold on. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a big fan. Something I need to do though, I need to actually give him an eye color. I forgot we said black hair and brown eyes. Or was it vice versa? I don't know, but he needs eyes. Age. How old do you think he is here? He's older than Vinland, obviously. But still relatively young due to the sparse population. 15? Does 15 seem good? He kind of looks like a 15-year-old. Eye color. I literally forgot what I said. Black eyes. Like 14. Yeah, he kind of gives 14 energy. So about 5'2" / 157. Yeah, 157 centimeters. That's what we said earlier. And then also 14 years old. Yeah. Oh, right, he needs his color palette. I really like how he turned out. I am a big fan. Hold up, wait, no. I normally I don't like streaming past 5 o'clock, because by the time I like check out of the stream, it's dark out, and I don't like that. Um, and I really do want to do Faroe Islands. Maybe I want to say leave it. I need to do a third person. I have to do a third person. I think Pharaoh is the way we gotta go. We just simply have to do it that way. Hopefully Pharaoh won't be too hard, because I don't know, something in my gut's just telling me it won't be that bad. I already have an idea for what I want for the hair. Oh, islands. Oh, who'd have thought? Their coat of arms is a ram or a goat. Who could have guessed? Onto Wiki. With the way they are placed on the page, it looks like he's confused about his sister. Wait. He's like, bro, how is your hair moving like that? There's not even wind. Why do you get to be the wistful looking one? Is that height chart background and resources on the Discord? No, it's my own height chart that I made for the body type headcanons I did. I figured since we're doing a lineup, it makes more sense to do a height chart. I can post it on the Discord, but this is literally a trace screenshot from that one height website I think I've sent in the resources channel. Okay. Self-governing nation under the external sovereignty of Kingdom of Denmark. I wonder where I've heard that before. Northwest of Scotland, halfway between Norway and Iceland. Territory is one of the 3 constituent countries. Yeah. Terrain is rugged. Subpolar ocean climate. Windy, wet, cloudy, and cool. Temperatures for such a northerly climate are moderated by the Gulf Stream. Northerly latitude also results in perpetual civil twilight during summer. I almost knocked over my water. Oh, I totally forgot about the Northern Light thing I wanted to do. I was going to do that for Greenland. No, you know what? I remember now. Svalbard, the one settlement that I was suggested to do, I can do that. Svalbard is like super north. It's a handful of islands located like miles northwest of Norway. So maybe I'll save the Northern Light thing for Svalbard. While part of the Kingdom of Denmark, Faroe Islands have been self-governing since 1948, controlling most areas apart from military, defense, policing, justice, currency, and foreign affairs. Because of the Faroe Islands are not part of the same customs area as Denmark, the Faroe Islands have an independent trade policy, can establish trade agreements with other states. The Faroes have an extensive bilateral free trade. Okay. Yeah, what's the etymology? Please tell me. In Faroese, the name appears as Forjar. Oyar represents the plural of oi, or show my ass. Older Faroese for island. Due to sound changes, the modern Faroese word for island is oig. The first element for may reflect the Old Norse word fer, sheep. I was right. Well, this analysis is sometimes disputed because Faroese now uses the word zero. from Old Norse to mean sheep. Oh. Another possibility is that Irish monks who settled the island around 625 had already given the island's name related to the Gaelic word for fin, meaning land or estate. This name count could then have been passed to Norwegian settlers who added the oyer. The name thus translate either island of sheep or land island. That's really funny. I want to believe in my heart of hearts that there's a sheep translation. I remembered that about 5 minutes ago, but you were almost done. I didn't want to interrupt you. No, interrupt me, please. I literally don't care. I like having conversations in the chat. Literally interrupt me in the middle of whatever I'm doing. I don't mind. I feel like half of the time wasted on streams is me going on side tangents and looking things up. Land Islands is the best name. It is pretty funny. Some evidence of settlement in the Faroe Islands before Viking settlers arrived in the 9th century. Archaeologists found burnt grains of domesticated barley and peat ash deposited in 2 phases. First dated mid-4th, mid-6th centuries, another between late 6th and late 8th century. Researchers have also found sheep DNA in lake bed sediment, which were dated... Faroe Islands isn't even a person, it's literally just a sheep. Barley and sheep had to have been brought to the island by humans. As Scandinavians did not begin using the sail until around 750, it's unlikely they could have reached the Faroes before then. It is more likely the settlers came from Great Britain or Ireland. Okay, so we got some British genes in the mix now. Archaeologist Mike Church, that's a name, noted that Dequil? Oh, I definitely said that wrong if he's Irish. Mentioned the Faroes. Disney wrote his geographical work. Dimensura Orbis Terrae. That there were, hermits from our land of Ireland, Scotland, who had lived on the northerly islands of Britain for almost 100 years until the Vikings arrived. Church suggested that people living there might have been from Ireland, Scotland, or Scandinavia, or possibly all 3. Okay, I'm going to remember that. Ireland, Scotland, Scandinavia. According to 9th century voyage tale, the Irish Saint Brendan visited islands resembling the Faroes in the 6th century. This association, however, is not conclusive. Okay, I'm just gonna... Denmark retained possession. Oh, wait, we have officially shot past the Viking Age with that paragraph. More immigrants left Norway who did not approve the monarchy of Harald Fairhair. These people settled the Faroes around the end of the 9th century, early in the 11th century. Sigmundur whose clan had flourished in the southern islands before invaders from the northern islands almost exterminated it, escaped to Norway. He was sent back to take possession of the lands for Ulf Tryggsson, king of Norway. Sigmundur introduced Christianity, forcing him to convert or face beheading. Although Sigmundur was subsequently murdered, Norwegian taxation was upheld. Norwegian control of the Faroes continued until 1814. Okay, so a really mixed pool of genes in there. What was it? It was Irish, Scottish, and then specifically Norwegian. This is me diluting it, boiling it down to 3 things. And then I don't want to read the rest of it. I want to look at this. Tell me about the sheep. Yeah! The bird fauna on the Faroe Islands is dominated by seabirds. The birds attracted to the open land such as heather, probably because of lack of the woodland. Yada yada yada. Common starling. Land mammals are found on the Faroe today, all introduced by humans. 3 species are thriving on the island today: mountain hare, brown rat, and house mouse. House mouse. I like house mouse. Apart from these, there is a local domestic sheep breed, the Faroe sheep, depicted in the coat of arms. I have to give them a sheep friend. And there once was a variety of feral sheep, which survived until the mid. Hold on, how is? Oh, that's wild. Faroe pony, Faroe cow, Faroe sheep, Faroese goose, Faroese duck. Those are the domestic breeds. We have to go sheep. We literally can't not. Oh, here's the question: is the Faroe? Hold on. Faroe. I always forget. Faroe. 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 Is the Pharaohs gonna be, or are the Pharaohs gonna be? Are they a boy? Are you a girl or a boy? Are you a boy or a girl? My instinct is to make them a girl, but that is my default instinct when making characters, period. So, like, I don't know. Yeah, sheep. First Nations history, Tycho Prater Island tradition. Hee hee hee. While we talk about gender, I'm gonna look at pictures of Pharaoh sheep so I can give them a little sheep friend. There's a lot of variety. I like this guy. He gets it. So there's something in his eyes. He understands. Hmm. What if we took a book from, or took a page from New Zealand's book with his stupid little hair curls to represent the horns on the sheep? Nah, I can't justify that in my head. Hmm. God damn it, what gender are you? Okay, maybe whatever sheep friend they have, they're a lamb in this point in time because this is a screenshot of them at roughly like 1100 AD or like 1000 AD. So I would imagine alongside with the pharaohs, that their sheepy friend would be young too. Let's look at some Faroese names for the sheep. I'm literally stalling. Oh, that's really cute. Old Norse, Old Norse. Browse ancient names. Yes, please. Wait, no, go back. I want to look at both genders. Why? Yeah, I know about the Futhark runes. Don't at me. 97 pages are in this cat. Oh, only 97. I wish they put the meetings next to it. I get why they didn't, but. Anastasia's popular there? Tanya? Okay, I'm really getting distracted. I need to look something up. Not a dog. There were sheep on the Faroe Islands. They had to have shepherds for the sheep. What? No, I'm not here to learn about Gotland. I'm not here to read a book. Okay. This hooded shouldered capelet thing is actually something I've seen a lot. Maybe we can give that to Faroe. Give that to the Faroe Islands. Oh my god, wait, wouldn't that be so cute if like here they are. Right? And then they have their silly little hood. Then their hair like puffs out and comes over their eyes. Like, how silly would this be? That's too silly. I do think I want to try and go with a hooded capelet. So I am getting back hurt. My back hurts a lot. So I think I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna take some final notes on what we want to do for Faroese. Or for the Faroe Islands, and then hood, hair covering eyes, and then that'll be like a surprise that comes with me refining everything else. Because, quite frankly, Vinland took a lot longer than I thought she would. Greenland took a long time. Hood, hair over eyes. So, I'll post these two, and then I'll do a refined version with the bonus of the Faroe Islands later. Hair over eyes. Gender, I don't know, I'll figure it out. I'm gonna go with like shepherd aesthetic. I think that'd be cute. Oh no. Remember how earlier in the stream I said I was waiting anxiously for grades to come in because it's the last day for teachers to submit grades? One of my grades came in. I am scared. Oh jeez. Oh my god, I never switched over OBS. God, I always forget to do that. Y'all need to yell at me when I forget to do that. But yeah. I'll use these notes to design the Faroe Islands later. But for now, we have these two. And I really like them. I think they turned out really good. Yep, new siblings dropped. And with that, the Scandinavian family just gets even bigger. But yeah, that's it for today. Next weekend, I'm not sure what I'll do. I really like doing character designing streams, and I've missed doing them. So I think next weekend I'll do a random state. Like, I'll go back to the picker wheel, or we'll go to my map, and we'll see what I got, and pick from there. But for now, that is it. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for helping. I think they turned out wonderful. I'll post Vinland and Greenland, then, yeah. Thanks for the stream. Aw, you're welcome. Thank you for showing up and interacting. It was so much more fun. But yeah, that's it from me. I'll stop talking. Have a great rest of everyone's weekend. Good luck with finishing off school to those still in it, and have a great winter holiday. I say as if I'm not going to be literally back next weekend. Anyway, bye. Mwah.